Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do the Sacrifices issue number 13, Image Comics. We're going to continue the story. Not too sure if that I like this cover, but it's the only one I could have get. This guy's not even in it. So yeah, it's done by Raphael Albuquerque and David McGeek. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, it's not cheap either. It's $7. Let's continue this story. No Light Beyond, part 2 of 4. All right, Pigeon Boy is, of course, well, not of course, but the last he's been kidnapped. He's been captured. He's not kidnapped. But these guys are chanting, and I'm not sure these guys are, I don't know, what are they? Because, well, this comic bit a little bit. Anyway, so he says, hey, can I return my axe? And he says, the other side says, no. I hear you, but I don't want to go. No one cares about what you want, Pigeon. Says Pigeon, everyone loves to use that as a way to talk down on me. I mean, Pigeon in the beginning of this series, he was, like a young boy. Now he's more hardened because he has now absorbed godlike powers from the daughter of the moon and the sun. Right? So this guy rips this other guy's arm off. And yeah, there's some fight, but slush. So I believe this is clay, but I'm not entirely sure. All right. And then he's using, I don't know, moon powers from the girl that has been, spoiler, this is the next one. The moon. This is the sister of Pigeon Boy. Anyway, I'm not sure what power that he uses. It looks a little bit like telekinesis, but it's not. You have this some kind of effect that he's maybe using the power of the moon. Is that maybe changing the tides or something like that, because it does something with the tides of Earth because of gravity, maybe. I'm just making stuff up, but I'm sure it has to do something with the tides. And he grabs this sword and then ignites it and kills him. Because he's now looking for the god of this particular place, because he's now a god killer, right? And he looks pretty pissed. So this is the map that we've shown a couple of times. So this was the moon. Luna was killed. We have this realm here, the Solus, the god that's living there. I haven't seen the lizards. We saw the humans. What's this? Am I missing something? So this humans, reptile, birds. So these are bird people. Anyway, and this is the world that they are living in. I mean, that's how I probably see it, right? And these are the gods that towering above them. But I believe humans on here, animal people on here, reptiles, okay. But these are basically the main gods and other gods as well. So this god here, I don't know. This place looks like some kind of a big machination with cogs and wheels and oil and whatnot. And it seems that it's important that he is using this machine to keep the world rolling or something like that. Not sure. It's not something here as well. I mean, I see money here, but don't know what significance is that. Maybe in future issues. So he's basically using is probably not really the good word, but giving them some kind of a motivational speech to these workers. But I find it strange that gods are sweating, but maybe gods are not, uber powerful as, normal gods, but more like very powerful, but also human-like, something like that. Anyway, but then something happens, and sorry for the resolution. Then this car breaks because something's happening in there. And then it breaks, and then what is this? Is this some kind of a grease, or is this maybe also clay? I'm not entirely sure, but Pigeon Boy is here, or Pigeon Man, as I should call him now. He's just a cowardly butcher. And so yeah, there's going to be a fight between them, and it looks cool. I mean, it looks very kinetic. So he falls down into this smelter, I guess. Forgive me if I do not know all the known words because, I'm not native US speaker or American or English speaker. But anyway, but also clay people are falling. This god can't stand the heat, but he's caring about his people. He says, you murdered my wife, slaughtered my brother Aquaticus, and now killed the Gocogs who powered the world for my people. You sacrificed my best friend. He's talking about whale girl, I guess, or orca girl. Sorry, that's how I call it, because he looks like a whale or an orca, but she died before he got godlike powers in the previous issues, right? And you sent her to die for the sake of your people. You all love to sell that lie and all its clever variations, but it wasn't for the people, it was for you. All right. And he says, and how many dead has your campaign of vengeance left in its wake? How many of my children did you just kill? Were they less important than your dear friends? He hits a note, yeah. So it's not all black and white, right? And yeah, he's, like I said, he's pretty strong. I don't have a justification, he says. And so clay people are, again, I'm not sure they are clay, but I'm assuming they're clay. Surrounding him, attacking him, but then he's using the power of Solus, the power of the sun, basically, to melt them, but then all the clay is, I don't know, clinging to him, right? And now he's stuck. He says, every meaningful life, a cog helping run a larger machine for the greater good. Some metals dissolve under that, or under heat. Others grow strong for it. Strong, they're dead in your service. Every piece play its role, child. But then there are useless people like you who can play no role in the works. You are too important, too unique, too selfish. Because I refuse to the fates you assign me, because I refuse to be fodder for your perfect world. Well, yeah, because they need to sacrifice themselves so that the gods are staying young, and then, then the world continues to turn, probably because of the cogs in here, but again, assumption. Anyway, so this is a little bit blaming going forth, He says, my best friend gave a life as a sacrifice, and your brother did nothing to protect her people. He let them die, so I killed him. He says, so the God says he spent his life serving the many. You are no man of the people. You don't care for the life spent achieving your goal. And what is your true goal? To remain in power. You're just a mouth puking up the same hollow words. All right. But so God-man, that's not his name, but he says it runs on blood, sweat, and sacrifice. That the world is turning, like I said. That is what your spoiled children born to this world of plenty can't see. That's the world you want, but you never ask us what we want. No amount of blood is ever enough for a parasite, he says. And he says, parasites rationalize any evil to gain comfort and convenience. Workers show up and run the gears. Someone must operate the levers that control them, making you the most vital piece of machinery. But then these words hit the Clayman. They are saying, hey, what's going on? Maybe Pidgeyman could be right. So Godman wants to kill him. And he says, you say your life is service to the people. Do something about it. He says, what more can I give? Pidgeyman says, give the power back to them. All right. He says, take me to the foreman's factory. We'll both drain our power and dispense it to the people. Show them you are more than simply words and chants. And that struck a nerve, right? Because now he's ripping the clay away. And he says, and this plan of yours, what of the other gods? How do they fit in? They're still arguing among each other, right? We convince them to join us and do the same. And when they refuse, that's simple. We kill them all. So, whose side are you really on? Oh, look at this cool facial expression. I like that. Looks great. So yeah, it seems that Pidgeyman has now an ally. And yeah, that leads us to the next issue, like I said. And we're going to continue with the daughter of the sun and the moon, with Pidgeyman's sister. Who are they? I do not know, but we're going to find out in the next issue. So yeah, normally the Pidgeyman is going on a rampage, killing every god in his sight that has done him wrong. But making an ally, try to be for the people instead of using the people to still gain immortality, right? I like that. So although this god has rightfully so an axe to grind with Pigeon Man, but somehow he realizes also the truth of his words, and then maybe turning this whole thing around, and wants to give the power back to the people. Not sure that's actually a great idea, because if there is no one to steer people, we have government, presidents, kings, queens, and all that stuff. How will the world turn without gods? Can they sustain themselves? Can they live without leadership or some sort of leadership? Maybe I'm looking a little bit too much into it. So that's an interesting question that I'm gonna ask. Not sure if it's gonna, we're gonna see how it ends, but it's still an ongoing series, and I'm still liking them a lot. I think I got a couple of Rick Remender books. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, he's a good storyteller. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm stop rambling, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.